So, this is something interesting. This is a rhythm game. It's not something I've touched on before on this channel. Uh, Largely because I had some difficulty with rhythm games. There was always a delay and the stuff was sort of out of sequence, and it really bothered me a lot. It bugged me a lot. So, this one seems to be a lot smoother, a lot more comfortable. I'm very, very impressed by it. So yeah, let's jump in. I will show you some gameplay, and then we can talk about a little bit of critique, although not much because this is quite well polished. This is an older game. I think it was made for a game jam back in 2018, and has been worked on fairly extensively since then. So it just had a recent update. So I like to see games that are consistently updated over a long period of time, because it means there are games that are going to stick around and really do well, and I think this should do well. This is just a demo. The full version hasn't actually come out yet, so it's a kind of part-time worked on type of game. But there is a version of it on Steam, and the full version is coming out soon, I believe. I think she's finished most of the levels. So he, I don't know. Baron Harris is apparently the developer name. They have finished most of the levels. So the full version should be coming out soon. Alright, let's jump into the first level and we'll have a look. I have played this a bit, so I don't know how it's going to treat my first me going into the first level. Hopefully it'll just let me play it as per normal. So we're going to just play, and I'll show you the basic gameplay mechanism, and then there are some other mechanisms like a B-side and the ability to make a beat. So that's really interesting. So this is the basic gameplay ideas. You have a space where there are hidden 5 instruments. I think we can see them fairly easily. Like there's a keyboard there, which is the starting one. There's a guitar, which I think is supposed to be a bass guitar. There's a trumpet. There are drumsticks tacked into the kit, and there are xylophone and hammers. I think that's what those are supposed to be. And the idea is that you click on an instrument, and then you have to play it using a rhythm game sequence where you press the letters in the order as things come down. Alright, it wants us to play with the drums first, so let's play with the drums. So now we have the buttons floating down, and we need to try and match them with Q and W at the moment. So and it'll keep letting us go until we get a star rating, and then it auto closes. So you have to try and match the rhythms that the game gives you until you get it perfect enough to get a star, and it'll auto close, and then you pick the next instruments. And obviously it continues playing the instrument you've just done in the background and helps build up a lo-fi sort of piece of music in the background. But lo-fi groove, I suppose, is the right way to do it. So let's do the trumpet next. Right, trumpet is done. Let's try to get some bass in there. Yep. That was quite easy. It was just 2 sets of notes, because they're just playing chords there. And then the xylophone is the last one that we're missing. and that's it. And that we finished. And then it gives us a star rating for this level. If we had difficulty with one of them and left it as a question, just a green tick mark, that's fine. We just have a green tick mark for the level. We can always come back and replay it and get the star rating. And that is, I think this is the essence of what a rhythm game should be. This kind of purity of just, here are some instruments. You play one instrument a little bit, so rather than sort of grinding through a whole long, piece of music with it, you just play a little bit of it, and it's a looped, a little looped sample that it then blends together, and you have that sense of satisfaction of building the piece of music together. And then you click play, and it shows a little bit of funking as the room is now happy with our music, and we move on to the next room. And then once again we have the same kind of thing. So we can play some bass here. Okay, now it was very difficult to get the star timing on that one. Let's add some drums to this. And so on. And I think that's all the gameplay I need to show. I mean, that's the game in a nutshell. Find the instruments. You can find them all over here. It's like 3 keyboards on this one, and the drum sets. There's a flute over there, bass guitar over there. Well, actually, I think it's a lead guitar. I think that was the bass. Rhythm. Anyway, irrelevant. So let's quit the level. And I would like to show you just one more element that I thought was absolutely fantastic. And that was the ability to create your own music, which I think is fantastic. How did I get there? So you click make beat, and then you have instruments up at the top left here, and the ability to record with the record button here. There's a timer that you can slow down. I think it's just 4/4 time at the moment. I think that's you can edit existing beats. Anyway, so for example, we are currently playing sort of the basic drum beat. So let us give ourselves a beat. A little bit out there. Let's give ourselves some cymbals. Okay, well, that was absolutely awful, but let's do one more. And so on. And then you can save the beat, export it, give it to other people who will then import it. I have no idea what format it'll be in, but there's even a share button where you can share your beats with other people through, I think, the forums here on Itch.io. I did notice something there, but I'm not sure. Anyway, that was absolutely terrible. So I think we can probably delete it because nobody in the world needs to hear that. And that's the game. That's it in a nutshell. I don't think I'm going to show any more of the gameplay than that. Hopefully that is enough to just give you enough of a taste to come and give it a try out. And that's the gameplay left there. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and all if you are leaving at this point, because I have kind of shown you everything I can show you. And next we talk about the criticisms. So if you're not staying for the criticisms, thank you for watching. I hope to hear from you, and I hope to see you in the next video. If you are here for the critiques, well, not an awful lot I can give, because as I said, this is a game that's been around for a while and is quite well polished. Start with a minor criticism. It's like we have all the quality of life controls, I think, here. but this is a heavily audio-based game, so I don't know how many of these are applicable. You can't turn the audio off; it'll stop you being able to play the game. Anyway, so we have one very minor thing that I do like to fuss about is that it takes like 1, 2, and then 3 clicks to get into playing a game. And more if you want to play the B-side or whatever, and I think there might be 1 click there too many. Having said that, I believe they're going to be up to like 35 levels or something like that, so probably this is the only format in which you can see all 35 in a usable way, you know, sort of look at them from outside and then zoom in. I don't know, it may just be me, but it bugs me when I see too many clicks in a game, because that does weirdly drive people off more than you would think. So I don't know if anything can be done there, if there needs to be a shift in this view so that there's more real estate. You can actually click on these from out here rather than going 1 click in. I don't know. I mean, I already am nitpicking there. It's a very, very minor thing. Other than that, I think the UI is absolutely fine. The sound is good. Obviously, it's a very heavily sort of sound-based game. You know, you need this kind of quality of sound and things to be able to play the game. It sounds a little bit MIDI with the instruments. It's probably the format that they're using. But obviously, when you wrap the gameplay into it and you have the ability to create your own beats and things like that, it is a level of flexibility that can sort of make allowances for the amount of MIDI-ness in the sound files. Sort of artwork. The artwork is absolutely stunning. I mean, look at this room. Let's have a look at this room. This is adorable. It's just this cartoony style art with the slightly sort of warped elements to it and fine details here and then, wood grains and nails and all of that kind of stuff. It's a good looking game, as one might expect. Clearly there's some very serious art being put into this. I don't believe it's AI. I think this is all hand art from the main person. If you escape out, do they have a no AI flag? No, just lo-fi. But that's fine. But I mean, it's really good looking. It really is. Zero complaints about the art. The art is absolutely stunning. And so we're talking about the gameplay, and this is always a tricky one for me to talk about when it's a game style that I don't normally step into. I don't play a lot of rhythm games. I do like them. I have a lot of difficulty when the rhythm is slightly out of sync with the controls, which happens in a lot of games because I don't have top-end hardware, so there is always potentially delays and other drags, and that bugs me. So that's why I don't play a lot of the games, because they kind of frustrate me and drive me away a little bit. I sunk a fair amount of time into Guitar Hero and Rock Band and those kind of games. I never got really good at them. I didn't have my own copy. I played at friends' houses and really enjoyed it a lot, but never played enough to actually get anywhere. But I did like them, and I think this game touches on enough of it to make it enjoyable without going so far as to try and be something that you have to dedicate too much time and effort to. The immersion, I would like a little bit lore about who we are, why we're playing this music. You know, is there a storyline behind it? I don't know. I don't think so. Is there anything on the itch.io page at all? No, it just talks about the development stuff, which I'm glad to see. I don't like stuff on the itch.io page that that isn't in the game itself. But unfortunately, in this case, I do wish there was more lore in the game itself. I would like to know more about where this music is coming from and why we're looking for the instruments. Just some kind of storyline. It's definitely not serious or required, but people like to see that kind of thing. It gives you a flag to march behind and get more emotionally invested into the game. And emotional investment is what you want to help engender in people by bringing them into the game. Like, could we be a wannabe rock star taking music from the world, or who knows what the storyline could be for something like this, or maybe it would make it worse. I don't know, but it's worth considering. And that's it. That's all the critique I'm going to give. I have shown the gameplay. I want you guys to come and play the game because I think it is brilliant. I want you to give the developers a lot of love. So it's Baron Harris is the name here, but it is Bear Mask is their, I suppose, studio name. It's quite a nice studio name. There's a few other games in their listing as well. You can always check those out. But I do recommend this one. I recommend giving the devs some love and get some positive vibes in the itch.io space. More people need to play it. And that's it. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next episode. Goodbye.